How's it going, guys? This is just gonna be a tutorial on like how to like have tank fundamentals, right? Now, there are places that you can go to learn tank fundamentals at the three main cities within Final Fantasy, and they are normally within the innkeeper. I will bring you to them right now and I'll kind of show you what they look like. At least the one here at Limsa. There's one in every single starting zone, and it is this person right here. This guy right here will be who you need. Him. So talking to him will kind of give you the quick fundamentals, like how what a mentor is, venturing, like Registered Hall Novice. Like there's like, this guy will help you kind of learn the basics of Final Fantasy. But if you've done this and you still want to kind of like learn how certain dungeons are ran, or just kind of how I run my dungeons, I'm going to be showing you guys that in these videos. Now, like I said, like I'm not the best. I'm not like a number one tank in the world or anything like that. I know enough that will kind of get you guys through what you need, and kind of go into tanking with a little bit of confidence. I will do every single tank and every single dungeon. So that is going to be the purpose of this live stream and the purpose of the videos that you guys are watching. But yeah, so let's get into the first dungeon that people will encounter. I will do the dungeon as every single tank. So I'm going to be doing this with all 4 current tanks as of Dawn Trail, right? Now, whether they release more tanks or do other things like that, I will make other videos later on. So if you're kind of looking to just kind of expand and grow and you want to level up tanks and you're kind of a little nervous about it, this is the place to kind of learn. I'll show you guides to my tanking in the most current dungeons. But for now, we're just going to work our way down. And that is as Paladin. Now, if people ever kind of like want to know how I have my hotbar set up, I can make a video on that later on and kind of just show you guys the macros and the order that I have done. Every single one of my tanks and every single one of my melee DPS, because as people see, I have my tank classes, healers, melee DPS, range DPS. They're all roughly similar. If you can comprehend one tank, you can comprehend all of them, really. So like Paladin, Warrior, Dark Knight, Gunbreaker, like as people see, my stuff is kind of broken up very similar. Like my hotbar here, like 4 here, is pretty much the same amongst every single class. The only difference being my tank stance for every class, which every tank will have your tank stance, right? I always have that in my 4 spot, like my first spot on my 4th hotbar. So Warrior, same thing, tank stance, Dark Knight, tank stance, Gunbreaker, tank stance. It's all relatively the same, and it will be the same about like all this as well. This is just preference. This is just how I'm used to having a hotbar, right? As someone that grew up on World of Warcraft and then eventually moved into Final Fantasy, and this is completely up to preference, right? Like however anyone wants to set this up, whatever's most comfortable for you, that's what I recommend. But yeah, every single tank class is relatively the same besides the names, but they all kind of do the same thing, right? So like my number 1 is the AoE, right, for drawing threat. As my warrior, my 1 button is for drawing threat. Switch to Dark Knight. 1 draws threat. Switch to my Gunbreaker. 1 draws threat, right? So, and then my mouse button 5 is my ranged, like is how I would like taunt, is how I would do my throwing to cause threat. But let's now that I kind of like explained that a little bit, let's get into some of the dungeons. Let's do that. Let's just get into the first dungeon, the easiest dungeon, right? And if you're leveling up a tank, this will be the first dungeon you touch, right? Very easy, right? But I know there are some people that have like performance anxiety, like I said, as a tank or as a healer, and I'm just gonna kind of help relieve some of that anxiety, right? Like that's the purpose of these videos, that's the purpose of the stream, right? Every single person can tank in Final Fantasy, and you can tank the dungeons, you can tank the trials, you can tank the raids. The game isn't extremely hard, right, to be a tank. A lot of people feel there's a lot of pressure and focus on a tank. Tank is probably one of the easiest things in the game. Yeah, let's get into the first dungeon here. Okay, so as you can see, there's a few things here lit up. So Total Eclipse is my AoE. Like, you guys will only have so many like attacks originally at first. So most people will want you to kind of like tank wall to wall. And I'll show you how to do that. It's super easy. I normally like using sprint. I'll go by, I will target everything, use my shield lob. Now I don't currently have my shield shown right now, but I have shield lob. And then I will start using my AoE like so to kind of grab everything. Now, depending on your healer, like you want to make sure your healer is confident enough as a healer, because you want to go at your healer's like speed, right? Like you want to move at your healer's speed. If you have a confident healer that can handle a lot of pulls, then there's nothing really wrong with, especially at these lower dungeons, kind of going wall to wall. But you just want to make sure you're always kind of like getting everything here. Spinning. I wouldn't worry too much about these giant clams. They will just constantly be spawning. We'll grab the shade here. We'll spin. Oh. We want to make sure our healers aren't being hit. And we keep going. There's certain like areas that like you don't need to hit, because like this stuff doesn't give XP anymore, right? It's your bosses that give XP. And then I would just pull this first large wave into here. Okay. So don't do that, right? Like this is a pull that may be too big for our healer. Now, so you guys can brute force this, like what we're doing here. I think the biggest issue with tank anxiety is probably your DPS, right? Your DPS is the main reason why tanks don't like tanking, and it's because like people are wild cards, right? So, my bad, man, can't heal while running. That's fine, that's fine. And when you get into like certain dungeons, I'm fine with wall to wall, but I can't castle running, so not a problem. As the tutorial video, like I might have to like run multiples, unfortunately. But that's fine. Like it's part of dealing with other people. It is unfortunate, but it's kind of like, and like this is why people have tank anxiety, is because of people like our samurai here, right? Like this person is what makes tanks kind of have tank anxiety. And you are going to run into those people, and it is perfectly fine. Just know that if you do exercise your vote to kick rights, oh, he's going around. He's going around like pulling. Yeah, well, we're just gonna vote kick this person here. It's unfortunate, right? It's unfortunate that like like this is a reason why people face like this is a reason why people get anxiety about tanking, right? Like it's players like that is why people like don't want to tank. Like and I get it. Like I honestly do understand, like this dungeon is super simple, as I was saying earlier. Like a team of 4 melee can beat this very, very easily. And I feel bad because like this Sprute has like learned a bad example. So like I'll try to move quick here so like the DPS can just like have action, because like I don't want to make this not fun for people. Started yeah, a different tutorial. Started a different tutorial, yeah. What not to do to a tank. So with a boss like this, normally you want to face your like bosses away from your party, especially away from any of your supports. Now you'll notice in this dungeon there will be these ripples here. There's 4 of them. This will spawn ads. You're gonna want to make sure any ads that come up, I'm gonna be using my shield lob to kind of catch if this boss doesn't go, like if this boss lives long enough, which it didn't. So there will be like, if this boss isn't melted fast enough, these spots here, these 4 spots will have ads that come out while you're fighting the boss. If by some chance the boss isn't dead by the time these spawn ads, you just want to make sure you pivot your focus, because anything that doesn't target you will immediately target your healer. You want to be protecting your healer at all times, right? Because without your healer, good chance you're dead. We'll run this in as a warrior now. Same thing, tank stance. We'll do the exact same dungeon here. This dungeon is extremely easy, so you're going to run into a lot of people rushing. So great lobby already off the start. We'll turn on our tank stance again, just like Paladin. We'll go and we'll grab this. Now, before I do anything else, right? So to this dungeon, a lot of people will already know, or if you don't know, I will show you where to get your color. We'll grab these here. And same thing, you just want to do this. Clear this here. Now this over here, you'll see a thing called Bloody Memento right here. And as the person said, blue, like this is going to be the color right here. Now we're here. Do you mind big holes? I want to make sure it's okay with my healer before my healer is going to help me set my pace. Go for it. Great, right? You want to make sure you're keeping the respect for your party, right? So now we're going to go. We'll collect all of this. I'll sprint. Some healers are also learning to be a healer, even at this level. So you want to make sure you're like this, it's a team, right? Like you guys are a team here. So you want to make sure you're acting as a team. So we'll hit this. I like to stop kind of here. Get all these. We'll walk down, we'll hit this. We'll hit this. We'll do an AoE really fast. Shade. We'll throw out this shade. We'll throw their fire. I hit them. Now I don't, as you guys notice, I don't bother with the clams. Because they'll keep, you can kill them. Now at about this point here, I like turning on ramparts. Just to help my healer, right? So I'll hit these, just make sure I have aggro, give my healer a moment. I'll come up here, I'll hit all of these, and then I'll come up in here. Now that note, that blue memento, as you'll see, my dancer right there is going to go over, turn this on. This will spawn the first boss here. So that's lit up. We'll touch our switch. Boom. First boss. Now you want to try and keep everything aimed away from your party, right? So we're going to do this. Avoid an AoE. Go in. Back. Use reprisal. And now that you have aggro, you kind of want to alternate between your heavy swing and your maim, right? Because these are your combos. Now you can spam one skill for flare or anything like that, but your combos do more potency, right? Potency combo, this is 100 or potency of 250, right? It's an extra 150 potency. It's worth doing that if you're worried about your numbers. Now some people will pull this mob into a boss, completely up to preference, completely up to your party, right? Same thing, your next little boss is here. Your tomahawk, make sure you have everything, aim everything away, right? Especially when you have stuff like a monk, right? Because monks are positional, right? So as a tank, you want to be helping your DPS do the like you want to help your party kind of set up for success, right? So like aiming things away from your party, because things will have cleave as well, or like have a shot where they'll like kind of shoot a radius like in front of you, like there'll be a cleave action. You want to make sure that's not aimed at your party. Now these dungeons like at the beginning are like they're not a lot of damage, right? So if a party member gets hit by one, it won't be like the end of the world per se, but it's good practice, right? It's just good practice to have to kind of get ready, because it'll help set you up for success later on down the road, right? And in big party, like in big mobs like this, you'll notice I kind of just spam my AoE, right? Just because like your AoE will, like, you will actually do more damage in a large radius. So once that's done, you'll notice he drops a key, obtain Wave Rider key. We'll go over to this Wave Rider gate right here. And either you or a party member will open this door. Everyone that has done this dungeon is more than aware of what you need to do, but just trying to give everyone tank perspective. So again, this is the same guy that ran away. We'll attack. I like to pull this over to the door because, as you guys can see, there's scurvy dogs here. And as a tank, you'll notice your AoE will actually catch all these dogs as they run in, because every ad, like these ads, will immediately want to run to your healer, right? So if I can catch them before they get to my healer, that's just that's what I prefer to do, right? You want to make sure your healer is up and safe, right? Like that's, so your healer, you kind of like, no, like everyone's just going to take damage, right? That's no good. Another nice big pull. And like these big pulls are great, especially for like your ranged like DPS. And I kind of like I go by the motto of like, and I always pull stuff like my melee back to my range, like the ranged targets, like enemies, because like now there is another method called like doing a hard corner, because like stuff can't shoot you past hard corners, right? Like if you're behind a wall, the range, like, or a caster has to follow you, so you can use the map to your advantage here, like in certain situations like that. But I like doing like big pulls, because especially when you have like a dancer like this, which really show like their like true like damage potential with AoEs. And again, final boss, you just want to keep this guy aimed away from your party. Again, we have a monk, right? So as you notice, our monk is going to be moving from back, like flank to back, flank to back. And like I said before, these unnatural ripples here will spawn ads. I'll just move over to the side and back. And there you go. That is a quick guide on being a warrior in the very first dungeon. And there you go. That's two tanks in the very first one, right? And it's all the same, right? When you go up, you see your target, your ranged threat generator, right? Tomahawk or any of the other like throwables as a warrior will have. You'll go up to a multiple of them, and then you just your AoE, and then you just kind of, after you have everything, I like to do at least 2 or 3 of these hits and then I go into my combo, right? Now this combo will grow as you get higher up in levels. And now we'll go and we'll get into the third tank, which is Dark Knight. Honestly, my favorite tank. We'll join. And just like my other tanks, same thing, right? You're just gonna go. Same thing. I use my mouse button here at the side here, guys. I just go. It's my throwable threat generator. And then my one key on my keyboard, AoE. Same thing. I'll cast this 2 or 3 times. And then I shift over to my just combo, right? 1, 2, 3, and that is the basics, right? Every single tank will have that. Every single tank. That is how you start every single encounter. Every single fight that you start, that's how you will do it. Do Dark Knight. Awesome. Same thing. Am I good to do big pulls, right? Cool. All right. Cool. Same thing. We're now going to... It's going to be the exact same as my Paladin and my Warrior, right? Want to throw out. Gonna go up here. I'll grab all of this. And again, Bloody Memento is right here. You can, once you get so comfortable, like you can click on this while tanking because you're going to be looking for a specific color, right? Bloody Memento, right? Green right there. It says the color. And the party member said, okay, so now we're going to do a big pull. And same thing, ramparts. I'm using my ramparts when I get to about midway of this pull. And same thing. AoE. AoE. Let me back up here a little bit so you guys aren't super close. AoE. AoE. Hit this. AoE. I can even go up to these guys and just go AoE instead. Run up to these things, AoE. Run up to here, AoE. This is where I'm going to want to start using my abilities so I start taking less damage. I'm also going to give my healer a bit of a break to kind of catch up to everything here. And then I'm going to move forward, right? I'm going to move up here, AoE. I want to be paying attention to my healing. AoE. AoE. I'm going to move up into this zone. Anything else that's going to be generated won't be an issue. And now my healer is just free to do whatever I need. If I see a green dot, I'm going to use that as my target. Now, just back to AoE, right? Back to AoE. Continuously hitting things. And like so. And the color was green. So that is going to be this thing right here. First on the switch, which will start, like all these other colors will turn off. We'll have this right here. Grab this guy. And because we have melee, see how they're in the back here? I want to keep them aimed away, right? I want to keep everything aimed away from my my melees. You wanna in general keep things aimed away. Days from earlier with it. Oh, how's it going, dude? Welcome on in. I honestly, I'm sorry about that. If I wasn't streaming or making a content video, honestly, I would have just sucked it up and I would have just done the run. But because I'm streaming and I'm making content, I've seen streamers like get punished for just like letting TOS, like breaking TOS, like happen on their stream. And I've been playing this game for years, and I just really don't want to lose my game. I've been playing Final Fantasy for years, and like it holds a very special place to me, and I just don't want to risk losing it, right? So, but honestly, you were super, like, honestly, an amazing person to have in my party. You were super understanding and relaxed and supportive. So thank you so much for just kind of being there and as the support, honestly. Thank you so much. All right, so same thing as my warrior and my paladin. I'm just gonna come in, AoE, target here, AoE, 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 and then we'll walk up to this spot. Now, where I'm tanking everything doesn't, like, these aren't like the, like, you need to tank here. I'll turn on my ramparts and then I'll turn on reprisal. This just makes my healer's job easier, right? Like, you want to make your healer's job as a tank as easy as you can honestly make it, right? Because, like, as I've said, like, the most MMOs rely on the Holy Trinity, right? You have your tanks, your DPS, your healers. Healers are getting shafted a little bit in the game currently, but you want to make sure they're still, like, participating, right? So the easier it is for them, the easier it is for, like, they are able to participate into the game, right? Like, if they're not struggling to heal you, they can do other things in the game, right? So if you're using your ramparts, your other, like, damage mitigation, your healers can actually then shift from healing to DPS to healing and back and forth, which makes the game more enjoyable for your healers. Tanks, you need to make the game more fun for your healers, right? Like, it's just, I don't know, it's a team game, right? Try to have a little bit more of that team mentality. It goes a long way, trust me. All right, and same thing, we'll grab these guys, we'll bring it over to this gate. Now again, this is just recommendation. You do not have to tank exactly where I am tanking. And then we'll just shift over to our combos. And this is, like I said, my hotbar is just how I have the game set up, right? This is just what works for me, going from playing World of Warcraft to everything else. And there you go. Now you can sprint here. You can, like, as long as your healer is okay with big pulls, like, and, like, honestly, always ask what your healer is, like, honestly comfortable with, right? Because, like, as I said, this is a team game. We'll grab these guys, bring them back to the ranged attackers, right? Rampart, reprisal. My kind of rule of thumb is, for every, like, 3 mobs that you pick up, you want to, like, use your, like, rampart or, like, reprisal, right? And how I base this off is your hit points, right? Your hit points and your party's hit points. Because I have, like, about 600 hit points here, half of that, at least in the earlier dungeons, you can pull in mobs, right? So I have 600, half 600, 300, get rid of the 2 zeros, which is 3. You can pull more than that, right? That's more than fine if your healer is fine with it. But it's just kind of like a safe number, I find. It's just kind of like a good balance, so your healers can alternate between healing and damaging, because, like, people want to participate in doing the, like, pew pew as well. And same thing, when you grab a boss, try to aim them away from your party, right? Because this guy, he has a cleave ability, so you don't want to aim your cleave ability at your melee here or anything else. These, again, we'll watch these rippling tides, right? Nice. We'll accommodate. I always like to accommodate my healers, right? Because as a tank, I would not be a tank if my healer was dead. Like, like my healer keeps me alive, so I like accommodating them, right? And there you go. That is 3 tanks done. The next and last tank is Gunbreaker. This is like the newest tank. A lot of people find this to be kind of like a DPS tank. A lot of people have fun with this tank, but just like every other tank, my hotbar is set up identical, right? So I have my tank stance, ramparts, right? Reprisal is at 8. Like if you guys will notice, reprisal 8, warrior 8, reprisal. And these abilities, Gunbreaker, the DPS tank, it honestly feels like Gunbreaker is the DPS tank, and a lot of people have fun with that. And it's like, let's be honest, right? People want to do the damage, right? People want that high, like that action, right? Action is what kind of keeps you here. So like people want to like feel that like participation, right? So a lot of people, if you're looking for kind of like a like flashy, very kind of like edgy tank, Gunbreaker is for sure the way to go. It may not have the same sustain as what like a warrior might have, right? But it is still very much a fun tank. You'll also notice all like everything else up here are like my tank mitigation damage, right? Paladin, mitigation. Warrior, mitigate. This is tank mitigation, reduce damage by 40. Dark Knight, reduce damage by 40, right? It's like every tank is the exact same, just with a different skin or chroma, right? Gunbreaker, mitigation by 30, right? Not really 40, but not really that different, right? So, and then same with all their other abilities, right? Paladin, Hollowed Ground, renders like impervious to most damage. Warrior, Home Gang, right? Brace yourself for onslaught, preventing most attack damage, right? From reducing you to 1 hit point. So, like, you just don't die. Dark Knight, Living Dead, right? Well, like, when the HP is reduced to 0 under the effect of Living Dead, instead becoming KO'd, your status is Walking Dead. And if you heal, like, if your health goes back to full, you actually don't die, right? Very, very similar to what a warrior is, right? And then you have like Superboy, reduce like HP by 50%, max reduce, you know what I mean? Like they're all very, very much the same, right? Like everything here, camouflage, increase parry rate by 50% while reducing damage by 10, right? If I go to my Dark Knight, reduce physical damage taken by 10% and magic by 20. It's all very similar, right? They don't really start differing until level 50. It's pretty close, yeah, right? And then you have your combo like 1, 2, 3, right? Fast Blade, Riot Blade, like Royal. So like this procs off of Fast Blade, this procs off of Riot. You know what I mean? Like these 3 will just like feed off of each other. And if I go to my Warrior, Heavy Swing, like combo action, Heavy Swing, like Storm's Path, combo action, it just, this is how it works. Once you kind of get past the like core is when like each class kind of gets a little different, but ultimately they're kind of the same. So let's do the first dungeon as a Gunbreaker, and this will be the last tank for the very first dungeon. Oh my god, these are chips, potato chips. Happy about this. This goo? Sounds squelchy. Interesting. We will get into the next one. I just want to make sure like it's whatever's comfortable for the party, right? Cool. Thank you. All right, so same thing as all the other tanks. We're gonna go in here. We're gonna grab everything, and we're gonna check the color of this page. And same thing. We'll just do our combos. And it looks like we have kind of like new players. So this is good, right? We want to make sure like we're being helpful to the party, right? Okay. So again, we'll go to the Bloody Memento. And Captain likes his wine red. That's the color. All right, here we go. Again, just be considerate to your healers, right? As a tank, just consider your healers. I'll grab these guys. Over here. Just grab this. I'm gonna watch my health here. Grab this. Go up here. I'm gonna grab these guys. Ramparts. See how my healer's doing. Healer seems to be managing just fine. Now, they did voice that like some of them are new, so we'll just be a little slower here for these guys. Now that most of this is dead, we'll go and we'll continue. We'll get this. Catch this. Catch this. Now this will pull right into the boss zone. Okay. A little bit of a hiccup there. We'll turn on camouflage just so this is easier. I'm gonna come up here, stand right on this little hill, and we just tank right here. Make sure we're protecting our healer. We don't want our healer dying, right? Because if our healer has to like off focus healing you, it just makes their job a little bit more stressful, right? And we want to avoid doing that, right? Because like if your healer has to heal like multiple people, it is going to make their job infinitely more harder, right? So we're not going to try and do that to them. So they clicked on the green coral, they clicked on the switch, and again we're just going to aim these guys away, right? Going to make sure we keep all this aimed away. This will move away, we'll dodge. By keeping this aimed away, it makes our Lancer, like again, our melee's job easier, right? This is how we want to play as a tank. Open up the switch. There'll be one mob here. Now we can pull this mob into the boss, right? Normally I hold it. My last 3 I held. But I'll show you here. We'll pull this right into the boss. My ranged. AoE, I'll aim it away from everything. Reprisal, ramparts, just so we can everything up. And then I can use No Mercy here, right? This is what I mean by a Gunbreaker is kind of like the DPS class of tanks. I'll also throw in like my camouflage, just making like my mitigation of damage like better. Make it nice and easy for like the healer here. And there you go. Nice. Congrats. And same thing as the other 3 tanks. We're just going to go in, select everything here. And then we'll go up here and we'll collect this. Same thing. Keep everything faced away. Reprisal. And then you just stand backed up against a door versus the people in their undies. You fight the underwear bandits here at the door, and everything is okay. No mercy, just to turn on a little bit of damage. And then we just beat up the bikini bottom bandits here. You, sir, shooting through a post. I'm very impressed. We got the quartermaster's key. We'll pick this up because we need the quartermaster's key to fight the quartermaster here. The ultimate underwear bandit of them all, right here. He's kind of like a quick little mini boss, something super easy, super simple. And you'll see he drops a key to where we need to go. We will waddle over here. Do this. Unlock and open this. Rip barrier. Dude, seriously. I remember when they removed barrier. It was a weird time. It was a weird time. I think that was the start of the downfall of healers, to be completely honest with you guys. Alright, again, got these guys. We're going to pull them over. Again, you do not have to tank here. This is just preference. This is just where I prefer to tank. Keeping everything aimed away. And I think it's about half hit points is when he opens these doors. Yeah, and then we're just going. Make sure these dogs do not hit our healers. Right? Protecting our healer at all costs, that's pretty much our primary job as a tank. If your healer goes down, everyone goes down. We don't want that. And there you go. Wait for our party here. All right, here we go. Now, again, I have about 600 hit points, so I should comfortably be okay with pulling about 3. But we'll see. We'll see what we can pull here. Nice, nice. That's really good. And we'll keep all this aimed away from our party. Amazing. Great job from the party here. wait to make sure everyone is ready. You want to make sure you're waiting for everyone. You want to make sure everyone like gets to enjoy the cutscenes and stuff like that. And like I said, you want to make sure you're watching these unnatural ripples here, because every now and then, if you don't beat the boss fast enough, you will avoid mobs altogether. Nice, GG. I don't really care for any of this, so I'm gonna pass. And there you go. That is the very first dungeon. That is the learning curve to, or the start. That is your initial entry level to tanking dungeons that has a tank. See, not very stressful at all, actually, right? You have, what's it, 1, 2, 3, 4 skills, mainly 4 skills. It's definitely pirates. There you go. And that is the very first dungeon completely completed with all of the tanks. But we made it. We made it, dog. What are you doing on the table, dog? What's your little fluffy butt doing on the table? I still look like a little cute little face. A happy little dog. Happy dog.